We've done a few videos on our hay box now, which is a really good quality one that we've made ourselves. But you don't really need to have a really fancy one full of really high-end insulation. Something like this works perfectly well for a dish like this, which is rice. This is basically just a box that's been lined with blankets, and all I did was I wrapped a cooking pot in a towel, put that in the middle of a pot and jammed blankets all the way around it. There's another one underneath it to seal it off from underneath, and then just pull the pot out, and you can see that's left a void behind. It's pretty much perfectly sized, and as you can see, it's a really old, partially knackered towel. So this can go straight from the heat straight into there, and it's not going to cause any damage to the blankets that have still got some life left in them. I don't want them coming to any harm. So rice is really good because it's a fairly fast one to cook. It takes about 30-40 minutes on the hob to do a risotto because you're there working all the time. This is going to be done with a slightly different technique, but rice is a good one because it's a relatively short cooking time. If you were going to do something with a huge amount of meat in, you'd probably want something with a bit more insulation on than this. But even something like that, you could bring it up to the heat, put it into the hay box, give it an hour, bring it back to the heat, put it back into the hay box, just to keep it, topping up that heat. It's still going to be a lot more efficient than just, cooking on the heat for a couple of hours or whatever, which you generally do something like soup. So soup would also work pretty well in this, though, just because you can chop the ingredients so small. But right, let's get going with the risotto. Let me get the hob on. There we go. Brand new cooking pot today. I'm actually going to be building a hay box for this pot in time. It fits into a box that sort of proportions a lot easier. So I just got some peppers, some celery, some carrots, some garlic and some mushrooms. I'm just going to give them a quick fry. Just a bit. And we're not looking to cook them all the way through. Just want to give them a little bit of colour. So, because we're going for risotto, we want all the rice to be coated with oil as well. And we'll add some more. Now, normally with risotto, you'd add the rice and then add a little bit of liquid at a time, stirring continuously as it slowly absorbs and slowly builds. We can't do that with this because it's going to be going into the hay box for the next hour or so. So I've got all of my rice together. Now what I've got here is 500 grams of rice. It's half a packet, it's basically enough for 6 people. So I've measured it out because we're going to go for volume, so we can see that's, what's that, a pint basically, 600 mils of rice. That's going to go in, and I know that I need twice as much by volume. I'll turn that down just a touch while I do this. I know I need twice as much by volume, so that's 1.2 litres of water. But I want to get all the rice coated with oil. Now while that brings, I'm just going to grab some water. So I'm going to add the water now before it has a chance to scorch. And while that's coming up to temperature, I'm going to add the last of the ingredients. So I've got some cabbage leaves. Got some kale. I think it's mostly just bits of veg we've still got left growing in the garden. So, red cabbage. Got some herbs. I go, oh, hang on, missed the chives. A stock cube. And I think, yeah, oh no, bit of seasoning. Black pepper. Bit of salt. I don't go for too much because there's a stock cube in it, but it's just the one stock cube, so it'll handle a bit. Right, and then I'm just going to bring that up to the boil. From the looks of it, it's not too far off. So that's up to a rolling boil. That's going for it. So that's good and hot now, including the whole pot. So let's turn that off, and I'm just going to transfer the whole thing across to the nice little void that I made in the towel. You can see that fits absolutely perfectly. And this is just a random cardboard box, just one that we had in the back, because it was, you know, it's a good cardboard box. You can't throw away good cardboard boxes, because you never know when you're going to need a really good cardboard box. And around it, I mean, you can see we just jammed a cushion, and on this side of it there's, you know, an old fleece. You know, it's just absolutely just insulation packed around it. And then I've got, to seal it on top, I've got a nice blanket that's been folded up. So I'll press that down all round, and to cap it off, a nice big cushion. So you've got to make sure no one sits on it, but apart from that, it's good to go. So we'll just come to that, take this in about an hour, and it should be pretty much finished cooking. So it's been an hour, we're about to lose the light, so let's hope it's done. It's, oh, still feels really hot. In fact, let's have a little, you can see it's absorbed all the moisture, and that is cooked. So get that out. Actually, no, the handles are okay. That's fine. So all the greens are at the top, so it'll just need a bit of a stir. Beautiful. And then on top of that, I'm going to have a little bit of feta. And that's it. Oh, lovely. Vegetable and feta risotto.